Hello everyone, welcome to chapter 152 on my RLDR Custom Creations YouTube channel. It is the weekend edition, and man, do I have a great weekend edition in store for you. So if you want to see what this is all about, all you have to do is stay tuned. Well, I didn't give you much of an indication in the introduction what this video is going to be about, and it's going to be a little bit longer, so just bear with me. Uh, The school year has come to an end. In fact, in our community, tonight was graduation. So, in fact, one of the grads that I worked with when he was in grade 9 stopped in. We had a really nice chat. And Drayden, I just need to thank you for making my evening. That was amazing. He's just one of the wonderful people that I worked with throughout my career. We've got some really good students in this younger generation, so don't sell them short. Anyway, a little bit of an aside there, but yes, my classes also have ended. And as of Wednesday, we had our last class. We had a little bit of a barbecue lunch. We had a wiener roast in my fire pit, and some parents showed up, and we had a chance to visit and chat. And I don't know, there's just something about getting together over a meal that helps people to bond together and to understand each other and learn. So I really appreciated that. It was a lot of fun. Um, yeah, the other thing that I think is important is if you run a shop program, this is a little bit of a prod for teachers. If you have a shop program, you need to show your students work. It's so important that students have a way to display their work. Not to brag about it, not to say this is the best, I won, I'm first, whatever. That's not it. It's just showing it. I never took student projects to any juried shows. We just went to, fortunately around here, the Saskatchewan Woodworkers Guild was very active for the last 32 years when I was teaching. And once I got into the groove there, we would show 100 projects a year at that show, which was amazing. The last couple of years, things have they're just rebuilding after COVID, so they haven't had a wood show for a little while now. And I think it's important that students have a venue to show. So since the Circle Center Mall has changed, they no longer have their display areas. The Woodworkers Guild isn't displaying any projects right now. So I thought the only way to do this was for my students to get some time on my YouTube channel. So this video is going to be basically a video wood show. So, and I'm even going to plagiarize the name from the Saskatchewan Woodworkers Guild. Since I know there isn't going to be a Wood 25 this year, and they're thinking of changing the name anyway. Personally, I like the history and tradition of the standard wood and then the year. So I'm going to call this Wood 25 Waldheim edition. And hopefully the club isn't offended by me doing that. But so what I did today, or actually over the last couple of days, is I shot about a 1 to 2 minute video of each project. So hopefully I sound somewhat coherent because I did this on different days and I sometimes forget what I say from 1 minute to the next, let alone a day apart. So what I'm going to get you to do is just sit back and watch, and I'm going to show you what my students made in the second semester this year. And this is Savannah's rocking chair. The chair itself is constructed out of pine, and Savannah has a stain that she wants to put on this yet. It hasn't been applied yet, so I think she's going to take care of that at home. But in this chair, there's a series of bent laminations. So the arm and the rockers here, they're bent laminations. So what Savannah would have done there is on the bandsaw ripped thin pieces of pine, and then through a jig that I have, we bent those pieces. So we put glue in between each layer and pressed them into that shape and let them dry that way. So that's worked really well. Excuse me. um, we kept the joinery a little bit more simple because of time, not because of the ability to do it, because with only 40 hours, there just isn't a lot of time, and then other things come up as well. So, but what we did is this piece over here is just a 2x6 that's cut into that shape. The the seat is laminated together. In the school system, we used to build a chair very similar to this, but it was more of a deck style chair with slats all the way along. And we wanted to make this more of an interior chair. So we basically tried to make it look more like a typical rocker. There's a bit of taper as you head to the back of the chair, which makes it look really, really good. Uh, the It took us a while because I basically had to make all new patterns to build this. To get the action right, sounds like a guitar, but I think in the end we got it pretty much perfect. So Savannah, this is awesome work. You did an excellent job, and I loved having you here this last semester. This is Lincoln's night table. Now, this is constructed out of pine, all solids. The back and even the drawer bottom are solids. For details on this, there's a raised panel on each side, which adds, I think, a really nice little detail to this table. Um, Lincoln isn't quite done yet. He's doing some artwork on the top, but just going to shoot this now just in case I don't get a chance to later. But there's a very nice drawer in here that opens nicely. It's all solid pine construction. Very, again, we simplify things a little bit because of time, not because we can't do it differently, but there simply isn't time to do more complex joinery here. So this is pretty straightforward, but it works really well. It's got a nice apron on the bottom here, a nice shelf we can put stuff in. All in all, an extremely useful table. And when he gets wipe on poly, I believe is going on here, it's going to look amazing. And it does already. Lincoln, it was a lot of fun to work with you this last semester, and you have an awesome project as well. Landon's longboard. Landon made this standard drop deck longboard. I have a form for this, and if you follow my RLDR Custom Creations Instagram channel, you'll see the day that we moved it, I think, back into storage from in the shop here. It's a fairly heavy-duty press. But anyway, Landon's board consists of 10 birch plies, and they're held together in the press with Titebond 2 woodworking glue. Landon supplied his own trucks and grip tape, did an awesome job installing it all. We always make sure we do a wheel alignment on these. And he chose the Punisher logo for the bottom of his. I'm going to see if I can show you that a little bit closer. Did an awesome job of painting this. This is a very well done board, and I'm hoping he gets a lot of use out of it. Awesome project, Landon. Braden's longboard. Braden built this longboard. He did a really, really nice job of this. This is a 9 or 10 plies of 1/16 birch. And then, oh, I forget how many cross banding plies we made in here. Basically, you're creating a piece of plywood. The, the glue we use is Titebond 2. It's water resistant, not waterproof, but I've used it for many years. It seems to work really good. The artwork is really, really cool. Uh, there's a bit of hunting culture here, and I'm just going to come up to the camera a little bit and give you a little closer look. Uh, Braden has wood burned this onto the bottom of his board. It looks really cool. Like I said, a hunting motif. Okay, and uh, Braden supplied his own trucks and applied his own grip tape. And this is an awesome looking board. Um, Braden, very well done. This is cool. Jace's Telecaster. Jace built this amazing Telecaster in probably about half the time that we would have had when I was teaching in the school system. Now, albeit, I had 4 students in here, and often when we built guitars, we were welding and doing all kinds of other things with like 24 students. So I was able to assist often, and that was really good. It was a lot of fun. Jace's guitar has a hard maple neck and an ebony fretboard, white mother of pearl inlay dots, Stuart McDonald truss rod, dual action. Um, the body is soft maple with a red aniline dye, and the finish we use, the clear coat on all of this, is just clear Krylon. I was looking for a simpler way to finish these guitars, and I'm really impressed with the level of finish that Krylon was, or the Krylon had. It was wonderful. All Jace has left to do is basically install his pickups and wire everything and string it, and it'll play. So basically, Jace got all his woodworking done in the 40 hours that we used in class to work on our project. So just going to give you a little bit of a close-up of this thing. This is a sweet little guitar. Although I had plans for the Telecaster, I don't think we ever actually built one because I learned quite a few things going through this with Jace. Oops! It's a really, there we go. It's a really cool guitar, and I hope he had fun building it, and I know he's going to have fun playing. Awesome work, Jace. Jackson's Stratocaster. Jackson built this Stratocaster. It looks really cool. We used a hard maple neck. There's a Stuart McDonald's dual acting truss rod that activates from the end here, from the peg head. This is a rosewood fretboard with white mother of pearl inlay dots. The body is also that soft maple, and this is finished with a blue aniline dye, and again we use Krylon for the finish. It's just a really nice piece. And Jackson also completed all his woodworking in 40 hours. All we need to do is basically install the electronics, and it's a pre-wired pickguard, so it should go pretty fast once everything's worked out. And this is, it looks really awesome. And I'm hoping that Jackson's really proud of what he's accomplished here. So Jackson, awesome work. This is a wonderful piece. Justice's steel string or acoustic guitar. Justice is a grade 10 student. I would say for a grade 10 student, he's probably had an average amount of woodworking in his lifetime. But tackling what I would classify as probably the most difficult project that I ever built with students in high school is this guitar. And Justice was well aware, we talked about this at the beginning, that he would not finish in one 40-hour slot. So basically what Justice focused on this term is getting all the pieces made. Here he's got his back and it's braced. Fretboard is slotted, ready to go. The neck is roughed out, and the sides are bent. So, yeah, for having no experience, this is an amazing amount of work to get done. Oh, by the way, the soundboard too, the rosette, the sound hole rosette's installed. We got a little bit of sanding to do yet, but that's there. So it was a very, very successful term, even though right now it's an incomplete project, but that's going to change next fall. So the sides, the back, and the neck are all a type of mahogany. Now I forget which type it is, and I should have researched that before we talked here. But African mahogany. And it seems to work really nice. I've enjoyed working with it. The soundboard is Sitka spruce from Vancouver Island. A friend of mine, I bought a bunch of it years ago, and it's some of the best Sitka I've ever seen. The fretboard is rosewood, and it's already slotted and ready to go. So the truss rod, this is that Stuart McDonald truss rod that we've been using. I really like these. They work good, and they're reliable. So, yeah, we've got a soundboard to brace yet, and then it goes into the form, and we're going to glue it all together. So, Justice, awesome work. This is going to be spectacular when it's done. Kylie's salad bowl set. Kylie is a girl in grade 9 that spent the whole semester turning. After we turned a few preliminary projects just to get some of the muscle memory back, Kylie endeavored on her salad bowl set. So she turned one larger bowl. This is 10 inches in diameter and about 4.5 inches deep. Nice size salad bowl. This was a core, and this came from the trees that I had surrounding our place years ago. We had 90 tower poplars around our yard. This is a core from one of those, and it's looking really, really nice. The finish is mineral oil, and it really makes the grain pop in this thing. I'll give you a little bit of a better, closer look. But yeah, see, it's the color is really nice, I think, anyway. And the turning is very nice as well. So awesome job, Kylie. The next thing to embark upon was to make 5 smaller individual bowls for their family. So we basically ran out of time, but the blanks are here, and anytime Kylie wants to come and turn, she is certainly welcome to do that and finish this off. The other thing that she turned was a utensil, like a salad fork. So we have a blank here for another one, and that's another thing she tends to, or that she wants to do yet. So we'll get that done as well. The finish, as I said, will be mineral oil. I like using mineral oil for turnings that go home to be in use, because mineral oil you can get anywhere, and you can recoat it as often as you'd like. Okay? So anyway, Kylie, amazing turning, and these projects look really, really cool. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little show. What made me so happy with all of this is the absolute feelings of pride that my students had as they saw their work come together. And I think that's so important, and that's why a subject like industrial arts needs to be in the high schools. That sense of accomplishment is sometimes hard to do in other subjects. So this was a lot of fun to do. I have a few people to thank. First of all, the students. This just about kind of runs itself, other than me having to track down materials at times, and I'm a little better prepared for that now. I think next year will be easier if they decide that we want to do this again next year. Then I think it'll be easier next year. The other group to thank are the parents. The parents made a bit of a financial commitment. Were I mean, I didn't hear anything negative. It was all very supportive. It was wonderful to work with this group of parents. So thank you so much for letting me work with your students the one afternoon a week since the beginning of February. And hopefully, I mean, if it works out that we're doing some things next year, that's great. I have a few other ideas of things that could happen out of this shop. Maybe we'll do some adult classes. Maybe we'll do some weekend work. I would do safety stuff, as I've talked about in other videos. If shop teachers are interested, or new shop teachers, I should correct myself. But anyway, you never know what's going to happen until opportunities present themselves in this business. So anyway, with that in mind, thank you to the students I had both before Christmas and after Christmas. I enjoyed working with you very well. I'm hoping that you're very proud of your projects and that everything is going good for you. And parents, thank you so much. And we're going to start getting ready for September. So on that note, if you see any of these students around and you know them, pat them on the back and say, awesome job. Anyway, we'll see you in the weekly edition coming up sometime next week. And have a good week, everybody. And have a great Canada Day. It's coming up. Okay, we'll talk to you later. We'll see you.